I know I am with no doubt. And this tends to happen to me quite often and more often than I like. So I knew something had to be done. What am I speaking about? Well, lean in a little closer and let me tell you. I do play many roles in my life, from speaker, facilitator to trainer. And this happens more likely and more than I really want it to. And I have a number one enemy. And this enemy happens to come knock at my door mostly once or twice a week. And that enemy likes to stop me and invoke doubt, imposter syndrome, and so many other emotions that I never knew were there until it came knocking. Who am I talking about? Well, I'm talking about self-sabotage. What does that exactly mean? Well, we tend to do things, or perhaps in this case, not to do things that we know will aid to our success, that will help us to reach our dreams, our goals, and our aspirations. Yet, we stop ourselves because sometimes we get that little inner voice, that critic saying, we're not good enough, we're not worthy. Who's going to listen to us? Does my message really matter? What have I got to share with the world? And this is exactly what we don't want to happen. Self-sabotage. Very interesting enough, sabotage, self-sabotage, the word comes from the French era. And it actually started off with shoes. Can you believe it? They called these shoes a sabot. And what happened was, back in the French era, women in the textile industry would get very disgruntled with the long working hours that they've had and unfair pay. They would take these hard wooden shoes off their feet called a sabot, and they would shove it into the machinery and whatever possible to sabotage the industry of the workshop or the workspace from getting textiles. So in their way, it was kind of protesting. And that is how the English term came about of sabotage. And sabotage is exactly that. We do harmful things, sometimes consciously or unconsciously without knowing. And what happens is that we stop ourselves from reaching those goals or those dreams or those aspirations because we fall into that trap on a continuous basis. So let me know in the comments on this YouTube link, let me know in the comments, what type of form of self-sabotage do you find yourself? Do you say you're not worthy? Do you say you're not enough? What do I know? I don't have a degree. All these things, this inner critic that comes running your way, these little gremlins are not welcomed anymore. We need to stop self-sabotage. Who knows? Because if you do that, one of you, someone out there that stops listening to that harsh inner critic might have the cure for cancer. But if you doubt yourself, you won't try new things. You won't go out and explore new possibilities and challenge your ways in ways that you never thought were possible. But this is the thing. We fall into this trap. We set high expectations for ourselves, sometimes even unrealistic expectations. And what we've got to understand is that we're human and it's okay. So how do we eliminate the self-sabotage? Well, it certainly starts with self-awareness. You've got to ask yourself, why are you thinking these things? You've got to recognize the patterns. Where is it coming from? Why is it stopping you? Ask yourself, what is stopping you? And look at your emotions, because emotions is data, and that data is trying to tell you something. Really important. Number two is you've got to really, really find yourself in a place where you nurture your soul. What do I mean about that? You need to get to know who you are. When last, hear me out, when last have you taken yourself out on a date? Yes, I know it sounds weird, but I want you, and I want to challenge you. I want you to get dressed and put on your makeup. Gentlemen, if you have makeup, go ahead, put on your best suit. But I want you to get dressed and feel your best and go to your favorite restaurant with a notepad and a pen. And I want you to take yourself on a date. And then on this date, I'd like you to write yourself a letter. First of all, a letter of forgiveness. What does this mean? I want you to write in this letter about what do you hate about yourself. It's such a strong word, but we don't realize that there are things that we loathe about ourselves. Maybe there was mistakes that we did, or maybe there's regret that you may have. I want you to write a letter of forgiveness, forgiving yourself. For all those things that have happened in the past and today, I want you to write it on this piece of paper and let it go. And then on another piece of paper, on this date, I'd like you to write a letter about why you love yourself and what do you love about yourself. And that's a challenge. When I challenge people to do this exercise for me, a lot of people struggle. They sit there for hours beyond hours because they cannot answer the simple question of why do they love themselves, which links up to their purpose. Why do I exist? Their mission. Where am I going and why am I going there with regards to their vision? Once you can build up the self-awareness of your strengths, your values, and start loving yourself and nurturing yourself, that sets a solid foundation for who you are. And that will help you with the next step, which is step 3, resilience. Bouncing back when you're faced with this doubt, this imposter syndrome, and you stop it in its tracks immediately. But you won't know how to do that if, first of all, you don't take the first step, which is recognizing. And secondly, if you don't take the second step of basically nurturing who you are and building your self-awareness. So the third step is resilience. How do you build resilience? Well, especially in our community, it's really crucial. You know yourself, but you also do the 4 C's. And I'd like to give you 4 C's. Very simple to remember. They all start with the letter C. And the first C is commit. I want you to commit to putting yourself first. By putting your needs first, as well as your wants when it comes to what you truly desire in life. Then your second one is community. I would really challenge you to reach out to people on this platform, on this forum, wherever it may be, and get accountability buddies or people to help you when you're going through a low. Because can I tell you, we are all human. We're going to have those highs. And when we have those lows, that is when we need those accountability partners to tell us, you've got this, keep going, keep pushing on. And they are the people that your enemy of self-sabotage absolutely hates because they believe in you. They help you to feel that fire. The next C is collaboration. I want you to think about who can you collaborate on any platform to help you live your purpose and to really push through with regards to self-sabotage. I have found the more I speak about self-sabotage and the more vulnerable I am about it in sharing my story and how I experience it on a regular basis, the more people come up to me. They're like, you won't believe it. That happens to me too. That happens to me too. So I really want you to go and have a look. Who's in your community? Are you committed? Who can you collaborate with? Really, really, really important. And the last one is consistency. How are you showing up for yourself every single day? That is so important. Are you giving yourselves words of affirmation as coaches and as people who are in the industry for personal development and changing people's lives and making a difference? We struggle to implement our own tools. So I want to ask you, are you reading affirmations to yourself? Are you believing in yourself with regards to affirmations? Do you know what your strengths are? And are you reassuring yourself the whole time? What I like to do is I'd like to ask friends, family, as well as colleagues, as well as my clients. I regularly, every 6 months, ask them, what are 5 things you like about me? I know it's strange, but receiving this from people around you in your community, being honest and genuine with you and saying, these are the 5 things I love about you. A lot of the times when they list that, we don't even realize how amazing we are, how worthy we are. And when people give that to you, it opens your eyes to so much more and to so much more possibility. So again, you can see the sense of connection with others and the sense of collaboration with others and community is absolutely critical to help you with self-sabotage. Just the other day, this happened to me. I was telling myself, I can't believe it. I have been asked and invited to come speak at another TEDx talk, and I don't think I'm capable. I mean, I've looked at the other speakers on the panel, and I just don't think I know enough. How credible am I? And before I knew it, I was attacking myself the whole time. And someone who was close to my community said to me, but Taryn, wait a minute. First of all, you've done a TEDx talk before. And secondly, you have this experience, you've gone through this, you've done this, you've done this. And they started listing all these things. And in that moment, they became my accountability partner and they helped me scare and say no to no more self-sabotage. And that's exactly what we got to do. We got to stand together and help one another as a community because these things are going to creep up. Self-sabotage is going to come knocking on the door because you are doing wonderful and amazing things in this world. So remember this talk and remember that the next time, whenever you are in doubt and you don't feel worthy of anything, go ask your community, go reach out, read those testimonials and ask yourself, is this really true? Is it really true? Thank you very much. And I really hope you stop self-sabotage in its tracks, start reaffirming who you are, have a look at what possibilities are around you when you just collaborate and you build a community, and you've got this. I know you do. I believe in you. So go out and go make a difference.